All right, welcome to Mound City Council meeting for Tuesday, May 27th, 6 o'clock in Mound City Council chambers. Can we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we got our agenda. Do we have any amendments?
No amendments.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right, got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, that passes. And then we got the consent agenda. Does anybody want to go through those 4 items?
I can read those off. Consent agenda items A through D. A, approve payment of claims. B, approve minutes from the May 13th City Council meeting and the May 6th Joint City Council Parks and Open Spaces Special Meeting. C, approve Resolution 2550, approving sponsorship as related to Southwest Trails Snowmobile Association for 25-26 season. And D, approve Resolution 2551, approving a public gathering permit for rain barrel distribution and special event at Mound parking deck.
Okay, got those. Does anybody want to poll or talk about those? All right, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second?
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Herrick,
Aye.
Councilmember Pugh,
Aye.
Councilmember Castellano,
Aye.
Mayor Holt.
Aye. All right, all that passes. Number 5, we got comments and suggestions from anyone that's present that their item is not on the agenda. If you want to come up and give you 3 minutes. All right, hearing none. I'm going to bring up Orono Police quickly here, and then we'll go to the council introduction. You want to come up and give us an update?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Last few weeks, nothing out of the ordinary has popped up. This weekend, we did enjoy our Memorial Day weekend. Our calls for service were a little up. Nothing serious, but just more people in the area for the weekend. A lot of people enjoying the lake and the nice weather. So we had some busy times, but nothing serious. So everything went well. OLL's bike rodeo went off 2 weeks ago, I believe. It went off, and everyone had a good turnout, they said, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. Orono Police Department is going to be starting our summer staffing policies today. It started, and so we will have a minimum of 4 officers on duty, including the sergeant, and that'll be from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day. So we will have our summer staffing in place until after Labor Day, right after Labor Day. So, Surfside was heavily patrolled this past few weeks. Seems like we're kind of curbing issues. We have a few once in a while where we have to write citations for parking on the weekends and stuff with boat trailers. But it seems to be going good. We got signs up out there, and I see the cones are up now too. So hopefully that's a good reminder to everybody to park where they're supposed to. We are in the kind of final stages of onboarding our new cadet for Orono Police Department. Colton Beck is one of our cadets that has started with us a couple years ago as a CSO and has gone through our cadet program and now has completed his schooling at Alexandria, has taken his post test and passed, and now it's on to a psychological and medical physical test. And then after that, we will hopefully have him on board here in the middle of the month to start training in FTO. He is brand new, so it will take some time to he's straight out of school, so this will not be a fast process.
Yeah.
And then our canine program is gonna probably start Sunday. He should be finishing up here on Friday, and then his first shift will be Sunday afternoon. So, other than that, that's all I have for anybody. Is there any questions or anything that I can entertain?
Does council have any questions?
I don't think so. I was just gonna ask, like, the staffing thing, is that just one more than, like, the quieter part of the year?
What it is so, right, we just came off minimums of 3, so like when
Oh.
officers want to take time off, they have to keep that in mind, if there's 3 officers on, so they do count a sergeant as an officer. So if they want time off, there's gotta be at least 3 of us there. Now, we're moving from that to 4, so there has to be 4 at all times, from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. on Monday through Sunday, so.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you next time. All right, number 6, we got council introduction of new concept plan from Jim Koch. Proposed for properties generally located at 6639, 6627, and 6625 Bartlett Boulevard in Mound for the development of 9 condominiums, 4 townhomes, 1 single-family home, and a dock house amenity being called North Point of Halsted Bay, formerly Halsted Bay Estates. The proposed new concept plan is part of a larger project, also in Minnetrista. Hey,
I don't even have to say anything.
there you go.
No, it doesn't.
Done deal.
Rita Trapp, planning consultant for this city. Just a reminder to yourselves and anybody in the audience or watching at home, the city of Mound has a policy that requires any applicants for a subdivision to come in front of the council for a council introduction. The applicant was here a few months ago with a council introduction, as you said, for something, for a development called Halsted Bay Estates. We had received plans. We had planned to do a public hearing at the Planning Commission, but the applicant withdrew that application and has submitted the North Point at Halstead's Bay for you to review and provide feedback on. So similar to the past, this is a chance for you to provide any feedback, comments to them prior to submitting any applications. We did notice everybody who had been noticed for the public hearing for the Planning Commission that public hearing was canceled and that you would be reviewing this project at a high level this evening. And so hopefully if there's anybody here, they may have comments they wish to share with you. We also, you read everything about it. It is a project that's located in the southwest corner of the city. It is shared between Minnetrista and Mound. Minnetrista is working through their review process, though I believe from packet materials today, it looks like they're not moving forward this evening as well yet with the public hearing because they are still waiting to receive all of the packet materials that they need for their project. This project is different. Can you? They will come and introduce you to it, but there is a difference in how this looks and how it sits on the site. So those are some of the things that would be great to have feedback about. And with that, Sarah and I and Matt and Jesse are all available to answer questions if you have them. But otherwise, this is the chance for the developer to provide more information on what they're thinking about.
All right, you want to come up? Jim?
Sorry.
All right,
That was quick and efficient, so thank you.
can you give us
I
your name and
appreciate
address?
it. Dean DeVolis, DJ Architecture, 333 Washington Avenue North, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right,
Thank you for taking the time to hear us again. They're separate. Originally, when I came before, I had a series of townhouses up on the hill, and then more single-family homes. And sorry for the gray color, I try to specify the 2 cities, but that's why I brought the other one, because that gray makes it a little bit muddy. But anyways, regardless, when we originally went and proposed the townhouses, 2 things happened. One, the market wanted more views of Lake Minnetonka, and 2, this new design provided a lot less hardcover. So actually, it was probably a win-win in both situations. So the boathouse is still the same as presented from board, nothing changed there. There is 1 single-family home that you see in the existing lower right-hand corner, 4 townhouses that face the lake, and then a 9-unit, 3-story condominium flat roof, and its height's the same as the original townhouses because the townhouses had a gable. This we're keeping flat roof, so essentially it's the same project. On the Minnetrista side, update council. They're correct, they're gonna hold it because WSB hadn't finished their review of our work yet. And that's the only reason they're gonna hold it, but we did make some changes to it We increased the ponding on it to incorporate the stormwater coming from the farm across the way, which we pick up, it shows 17 acres. So we adjusted our plan to be able to handle that. So we're getting more fine-tuned in our stormwater calculations. On the Mound side, to reduce the hard cover scape and organize the ponding. It'll actually be ponding on the Minnetrista side. So we'll actually be pulling the water from ours to Minnetrista through that pond system to handle it. So overall, more green space, a little different type of building topology, but a lot happier in terms of potential buyers and what they're seeing in this, because everyone has a view towards the lake. The condominium building is a single loaded quarter, and the townhouses obviously will be walkout townhouses facing the lake, and then the one single family home and the boathouse. So essentially, that's why we're here describing those changes with the packet. You've probably seen it. We have some preliminary architecture. The boathouse stays the same as before. We're still staying with this type of architecture that we're striving for, that you see in the imagery. So that's continue to be the goal. That's an image of the building with a combination of stone. Basically, that image you saw before, the scale of it. All enclosed parking. So it's some limited surface parking. Within it, you can see it's just 3 units per floor, all facing the lake, single loaded quarter. So it's a nice product that people like. Again, second floor, third floor right there, second, third floor. Then here's the elevation of the building, all 4 sides. Be similar to what's being built in Minnetrista. Again, with the idea of putting all our density tight against Highway 110 and then trailing down. So it goes 3-story building, 2-story townhouse, so you'll see, and then the single family and boathouse. Imagery of what the townhouse are going to be built up in terms architecturally on that. And then next slide, please. Floor plans, simple 4 units, garage. On the front, walkout townhouses, very simple 4-unit complex. And then the boathouse gazebo that we know about will remain the same as part of the project. So there's no changes to that portion of it. So that's a quick summary of the project. So essentially the same, but again, changed really in the fact that as we started venture into it, the 2 advantages, buyers were happier, and it reduced our hard cover quite a bit by tightening up the buildings, because townhouses tend to sprawl, and this just was a lot more easy on the land, so to speak. So thank you for, again, hearing us again for our revisions. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I stand for questions, comments. Thank you.
Does council have any questions for him?
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, I know that the previous application is kind of irrelevant now, but like the density on the Mound portion went down a little bit, right? I know there's less hard cover.
The hard cover went down, the density went up just a little bit because of the 9-unit, but the hard cover is a lot less.
Got it, okay. I was trying to do like in my head the
Yeah.
amount of townhomes that were there before and then, okay. Makes sense.
No, I like it.
Yeah, looks really nice.
I think they've done a beautiful job. I guess I'm a little curious about, and you may not know the answer to this, but the runoff that you're talking about that's coming from the farmland.
Yeah,
Do
let
they
me.
not have a culvert or something over
There
there
is
to
a
catch
culvert.
that?
So what we're doing is, we work with the county, we're gonna put a flow restrictor on the culvert
Okay,
so that we can pick up water on the
other side.
north side, and then we increased our ponding on our side in addition to that. So we took that and incorporated, because we don't know when the farm will be developed, but so we have to deal with it. And it's 17.2 acres of the farm that flows towards Minnetrista. So that's how we handled it and incorporated. So we took that into account because people raised concern, but we got more specific with it to really narrow down the numbers and tighten up the project. And by doing that, we lost one house on the west side of Halsted and one on the east side, and tighten those lots accommodated. So now we're gonna have basically dual ponds right here, ponds in it. We're still keeping the pond up there and the other pond there. So
Okay.
that's how we made it work to take care of that extra runoff.
It's lovely, yeah.
Anything, Shane?
No.
Anything else?
No, I think it looks really nice.
Okay. Well, I'm going to open up to the public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll bring you back up if we need to. So, thank you. Okay, I'm going to open the public part, so if you want to come up and say something, please your name and address, and you can try to keep it to 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Gal Peremislov, and I'm the neighbor at 6619, so I believe it's top right corner of the map. Top right?
In on Mound side?
Yes.
Okay.
So the plan is truly nice, looks good. I just wanted to know how it will affect the neighbors, and I think mostly me, because it seems like I have adjoining properties on both sides, on west side and on
Excuse me.
south, on both sides.
South, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So please be nice to your neighbors, and I'm sure you would be. And Sarah, thank you very much, including me in those conversations. Unfortunately, before that, I didn't know about it. My unit was rental unit, and I have a tenant there for 10 years, so he is very interested. At some point, probably will build something myself. So great plan, but please keep us all included, and let us.
We plan to add a lot of, and I don't have a tree plant here to the east, a lot of tree to buffer your apartment, because we have to make up calipers of trees, so we'll be intensifying the greenery to the east side of the building, so absolutely.
Is it okay that I will contact maybe after the meeting?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if-
My card,
Okay.
you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
You said 6619, right? Sorry.
Yes.
What's the street?
Okay, I see it now.
Oh,
Okay.
you found it?
It took me a while.
Hi,
So-
I'm
Okay, go ahead. Yep.
I'm
give us your
Jean
name and address.
Fauching. I'm from 6705 Halsted Avenue, and that's on the Minnetrista side.
Okay.
So we have a current house there. I guess my big concern, what is, in order to do this, they have to get a PUD from both Mound and Minnetrista? Because what's the current density in your zoning plan for this?
This fits the density, right, Sarah? Or Rita? Does this fit our current density?
Because it doesn't with the Minnetrista side, as far, it would
Well-
need a PUD.
And that's,
And that's
No
like
problem.
2.2 to 3.
Okay.
And this is almost 6.7 to 7 per acre, because that's only 14 acres combining these two properties.
okay. Is that your only question, or do you have other ones?
No, I'm just wondering what the
Okay.
current density
Yeah, I
is.
just have to use the microphone. So, the density is identified in the comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
The parcel that most of that condo building is on is currently guided, medium-density residential. The condo building, we don't have the exact lot configuration and how it all shakes out. So it is likely that the condo building with the townhouse building would meet that density requirements, actually be a little shy, but that's what we would guide it as because of the type of housing it is. We probably need a comp plan amendment for that additional parcel that came in on the east side because we want them all to be the same. Do you see how the condo building is stretched over 2 parcels?
Yeah.
We want that all to be the same. We don't want to have low density on like a strip of it, because that's what it is guided right now, and medium density on the rest of it. So we'll want to make it consistent. And then the houses on the south side are fine, because those are all low density residential. So for us, we will have to do a plan unit development, because that's just how Mound is. We do everything with the plan unit development. So it'll be a shoreline plan unit development, just like we always do. We also need a conditional use permit to do the townhouses and the condo building. We'll need to do some rezoning, because of course we have split zoning, because we have different zoning in different parcels. So we'll have to do some things to just get everything cleaned up and tidied up. But the components are there for what we need. It's just they're not all on the correct parcel, because now we're kind of putting things on different parcels.
So-
That's our high level without having all of the details, likely what will need to happen. But this isn't significantly different than what the density that we had identified. In fact, for us, it's less because we have so much open space between those condo townhouses and then down the hill to the dock house. And the dock house doesn't count really as density. So for us, Ours is like slotting right in. It's a little bit shy even, depending on how we break up the lots. But we think it'll work. But we still will have to go through a comp plan amendment and a rezoning, just because of those things, to make everything. We wanted to make sense after the fact.
Okay, so the semantics are, but at the same point, the density.
Is
fits
right in
our-
line with what we had planned for that other project when we
Okay.
had re-guided it.
Okay,
So for us, it's a little different than Minnetrista, just because our densities start higher than theirs.
okay, all right.
But it's higher than what it's zoned right now with this density. I understand that one plan, and now there's this new plan, and there's lower density with the new plan. But overall, this is more density than your comprehensive plan.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
That's what you wanted?
Oh, no,
That's what you wanted?
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, for us, no, it actually is kind of right in line.
Because it's about 2 acres or 3 acres for your side?
For that, it's not exact
Yeah.
because of the way that like, we wouldn't count that single-family home on the bottom, and all those parcels have to get kind of rejiggered. But when we did the calculations, it'll be right in line
Okay.
with what we have.
So I'm sorry,
No,
but
that's
thank
fine.
you. My overall concern is just density. I think following the comprehensive plan helps you plan, because I know both Minnetrista and Mound, most of the people on the Minnetrista side are wells. We don't have water right now to any unit. Mound does have some public water. And there's sewer, there's not storm sewer all in this area. There's big water issues on our little T. So I definitely want that to be taken care of. And just making sure that we have the infrastructure, sewer, water, and storm sewer to really support this plan, because there's nothing like this by us. It's all single-family homes in this area. Thanks.
Yeah, and I will say, I don't know what you're doing in about 30 minutes, but they're gonna be over at Minnetrista after this. So you might wanna follow them over there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Seriously, because that's a bigger part. That's a bigger portion of the plan is Minnetrista side, so. All right, can you give us your name and address?
Good evening. Mayor and council members, my name is David Foshing. I live at 6705 Halsted Avenue. We're just adjacent to the area affected by the project. I appreciate the opportunity to speak, not in opposition of development itself, but with concern for what this land already does and what we lose if we overlook it. This site serves as a vital natural function. It slows, it holds, it filters water from over 80 acres to 100 acres of land to the north before that water reaches Halsted, the Halsted Bay. It's not unmanaged. It's naturally managed water flows under County Road 110. It collects in a basin west of Halsted Avenue. It crosses to another basin on the east of the street, and it continues down open culverts toward the lake. Replacing this vegetated land with hard surfaces and pipes doesn't improve the system. It bypasses the slow absorption, cooling, and filtration that nature provides. That means faster runoff, more erosion, and degraded water quality. I ask the council to see this land for what it is. It's a functioning piece of our community's stormwater infrastructure. It's quiet, but it's essential. Before this project moves forward, please request a full environmental review and drainage study, not only for Mound, but considering the full scope of what's proposed in Minnetrista as well. Let's ensure this development doesn't leave a legacy of damage in its wake, but instead reflects the care and balance this city strives for. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, anybody else? You guys want to come back up?
So just in response to clarification.
Yep.
We did study the farm. and we did meet with the watershed. And that's why I said it's 17.2 acres of the farm does drain through Minnetrista. We did meet with the watershed and went through the calculations. And as to work through that 17, that's why I adjusted the ponding, that's why I did the flow restrictor and the culvert underneath 110 to slow the water, to increase absorption, to handle that. Yeah, so we did take the account, but it's not the 100 acres, it's 70.2 because they analyzed all the watershed of the farm with the watershed district, and that's what 72 is what comes towards us. The rest drains in the other various directions. So, yeah, we did work that into the process.
Okay.
That's what I said, so, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. All right, I'm going to close the public comment. All right, so back to council. You guys have any last comments that you want to give them before they move forward with planning?
No, it's kind of unique because, I mean, I understand concerns for the whole development, but like, you know, we have to kind of keep to the Mound side, but yeah, I don't have anything else to add, but something to think about.
Councilor Pugh?
Well, I think it's a interesting and challenging development proposal. And I look forward to the review and scrutiny of our planning commission to look more into it. You know, we're always concerned about this issue of the environmental impact. And so it is challenging because we've got two different cities. It looks like our parcel has less impact, but could be greater impact on the other parcel. So we'll have to work it all out.
No, I'm good. I think they've done a great job.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say the same thing as, I guess, everybody. So, you know, if you guys move forward, you'll move forward with our planning committee. And I don't know if you guys have seen our planning committee, but they're pretty, I used to be on there, you used to be on there.
I was on it.
You used to be on it. Our other council member who's gone is on it currently, but yeah, they're pretty thorough, so hopefully they'll, and you'll, if you want to come to those meetings as well, feel free, even though you're Minnetrista, we invite you out, so. And again, I think you guys got to run at 7, but yeah, I think you kind of get the check mark for this process anyway, and then good luck through planning. So. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you. Thanks, guys. All right, number 7, we're going to talk about the approve of resolution number 25-52, approving award of bid of $1,091,346.93 to GMH Asphalt for the 2025 street and utility project. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Matt Bauman, city engineer. So actually, I have to look back. So May 19th, we held the bid opening for what we're calling now the street and utility project, the 2025 street and utility project. So that was the combination of the reconstruction project and then the mill and overlay, just to make it easier to combine like activities there. We received 4 bids, the low bid being GMH Asphalt Corp. They're out of Chaska. Their bid was $1,091,346.93. That is 18% below the engineer's estimate and 59. Is that?
Just, it's noisy, if you can hold on just a second.
The door.
The recording is
okay.
going to get all muffled.
Yeah. I can yell if you want. Get my coaching
That's
voice
quite
out.
all right.
Okay.
Thanks, Rita.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, so we got a bid.
Yeah, so we got a good bid. There was 4 bids. I think so the low was 18% below the engineer's estimate of $1.3 million. And then Jesse, if you'll scroll down a little bit, I kind of broke out the different portions, and then where they've kind of stacked up through the process here. The FMP stands for the Financial Management Plan, so if you add all those items up, it was about $1.64 million, and then with the low bid, and then our projection for engineering and all that stuff, that we're at $1.36 million. So we're sitting in pretty good shape there as far as the total financial package. So yeah, we'd recommend award of bid, and then after my memo here, the finance director Noah just wanted to comment that this will, one of several pieces that'll be bonded for once we bid the park project, so.
Got it.
If you got any questions on that, I can try to answer them, otherwise Jesse, jump in there.
Does council have any question?
No?
All right, we got a resolution. Someone wants to make a motion for that?
You see, it's page 1363.
So we will be issuing a bond issue for this?
We did.
That's
We
part
did.
of what we did with, okay, that was before I got on, yep, okay.
All right. I will make a motion for a resolution, 2552, accepting bid for the 2025 street and utility improvement project, 2501 and 2502.
All right, got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. That's
Any
it.
other questions?
No,
All right.
not me. All right, Councilmember Pugh, do you have anything to report?
No, except for it's the end of the session, and there's no bond bill, so,
Yep.
as we all know, so. I guess we're gonna have a special meeting soon.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, and then, let's see, Councilmember McEnany's out, Councilmember Castellano?
I don't have anything personally. I just wanted to talk for a minute if we can about, what am I trying to say? Like our planning for workshops and meetings coming up, I kind of feel like I just don't really know what's,
Yeah?
I feel like I'm behind. But, so we should be scheduling a finance committee meeting soon so that we can have a workshop as a council before our second June meeting. Is that right? Okay, okay, cool. I guess I was tracking.
So, can you shoot the committee an email, or are you,
I don't want to lose track of it, so I mean, we would have to meet like,
I mean, I can meet, do you want to meet Thursday?
like this Thursday?
Next Thursday? I don't care.
I mean, I can, but yeah, I just wanted to get it planned. I mean, if it was the following Thursday, that'd probably be fine too,
Okay.
but,
Well, why don't you just email us?
for
and-
Maggie and Noah's planning, they might want more than a
Yeah,
couple
okay.
days, but if we could do it the next week or the week after, I think that's kind of when we have to, right?
Yeah. And then, depending on what we figure out there, we're gonna wanna do a workshop with the council.
Yep.
Do we wanna plan that, since,
Yeah, we should just plan
Four of
that
us are
now,
here.
because it'll be the June 26th or 27th meeting, whatever that is.
24th?
June 24th, 5 PM, yeah.
Will that, you wanna do a workshop before that meeting?
Yeah, I think we kind of need to.
Okay, yeah, yep. Are you guys, you good with
I
it?
think I'm gone that week.
Oh. You're out of the second meeting in June?
In June.
You're
Yeah,
done?
I might be, yeah.
What about
I need
the-
to check.
Could it be the 1st in July? The first meeting in July then, or is that not?
That would work.
I'm
That's-
just saying, is
Or
that the right,
after.
is that the right timetable?
What about the week, the off week, the week?
Yeah, the off week would work,
Like the
probably.
20th,
Oh,
Or-
yeah, I guess we can do it in the off week.
18th, or whatever it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah. I don't
Tues-
want to do it on an off week.
No,
but
I know, but,
Do we have to decide that right now?
June
I think
20th.
first we need to get the workshop scheduled in the next 2 weeks.
yeah.
And
How much
then
notice do we have to give for the public meeting then? We have to.
3 days,
3
right?
days, is that
Yes.
all? Okay.
But if we don't want to, is there any reason we can't wait till the first July meeting? The whole point was that we wanted to have like a
Yeah.
workshop as a full council, and if it can wait, I mean, I guess that's fine, but
The second meeting, yeah, that's the 8th, July 8th. I'd like a little bit more time before the 22nd.
Plus, that's July 4th.
oh,
weekend.
I see, okay.
Plus, yeah, July 4th, yeah.
If anybody's off that following week, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gone the 10th week, so, I mean, I can do the 17th. I know nobody wants to come here when you don't have to, but.
Yeah, I'm fine either way. I mean, it would be ideal to have everyone there, but I guess we should make sure that Kathy's available then too, if it's gonna be in an off week.
Do we want to just pencil it in for now?
Well, let's make sure we have
17th.
our finance committee meeting probably next week, you know, to give Maggie and Noah time to prep for
That's what I
that.
was sorry.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we probably shouldn't do it this Thursday, but we should schedule our finance committee meeting for next week
Yeah.
and then decide, you know, we'll maybe hear from Kathy and find out, as we don't want to have Kathy and Sherry not there.
So are we okay penciling it for 17th for now?
Penciling,
Okay, 6 PM
So it would be June 17th, we're saying?
6 PM, June 17th, yeah.
Okay.
workshop. Jesse, you good with it?
Yeah.
You'll be here?
Seems fine.
Okay. Is that anything else?
I guess just making sure that I was tracking for that, and then, I know we kind of talked about this for like a second before, but is there anything we can do, to kind of accelerate or improve, like, when we were just there tonight, like in Lost Lake, like the area where the grass is, you can kind of see where it's doing fine, and then where it's all of a sudden not? Like, is there anything that we can do to like, kind of help that along, or is there a plan that I don't know about?
Say, because they attempted to cover the ground so late last year that nothing really took, and so it's on the punch list. They basically have to reseed the entire area.
Okay, so
And
that's
so-
what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and so now the irrigation is in and active, so that will help kind of with timing, but yeah, nothing really established, so we're not walking away yet, but
Cool.
realize it looks not
Is
great
the
yet.
irrigation, is it operational, or is it just?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
told it's working, yeah.
Okay.
So you guys have the plan is to like reseed and do all that stuff? and-
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yep.
Awesome, thank you. That's all I got.
Okay. Just a comment on that too is, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look great. And that's part of why we wanted to accelerate this whole park thing, is we had dandelions before, and it seems like we have those again, so, I mean,
I do remember everything going down so late last year, though.
yeah.
There's
just-
no way around that.
The last thing we need is, you know, we just put this thing in, now we have just another dandelion field. So, I don't know if you guys, Public Works can stay on top of that, or what you can do to minimize the damage. Because it looks, you know, we were over there for the ribbon cutting, and I'm like, I know you get to, you know, overseed and all that fun stuff, but like.
Yeah, basically, we're not accepting it right now. They have a pretty high threshold of what they need to get it to look, what they need to get it to grow to before we accept it, and so until that point, they won't get fully paid out either.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
Sounds good.
whatever we can do to stay on top of that process, so it can start looking good, and then start mowing it, so it looks appropriate.
People are using the promenade, though. I was there on Saturday for the farmer's market, and there were folks who were coming into the market on that promenade walkway, so that was kind of nice. So people are enjoying it, the space, and utilizing it.
What information have we gotten back from that survey that they're doing on Survey Monkey? Sherry, do you know? What's the term that's gonna be out there? The length of time?
No, I don't have anything on that.
That's being run by us as well.
Oh, it's you?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I think we just put those signs up last week, so we'll leave them up for another week or two, I think, is the plan. And I haven't heard of what the results are yet, or what we get
Okay.
back.
I'm a little curious why we're doing that when we already spent $20-some thousand doing a survey, and now we're doing this online, which I know isn't an expense, but,
Yeah, it's just to fine tune a couple of the pieces that we brought to the Parks Commission, that there wasn't necessarily a strong feeling on a couple
Okay.
of those things, and just get a little more community involvement.
okay.
I have a question. Now, as I was walking around Mound this week, I noticed that on the US Bank, that the sidewalk has been colorized, is that correct? That it's a gray coloration? It's the only place where I saw color that we're supposed to get into the sidewalks. I mean, it was actually nice for me walking on it, I have to admit. but that's the only place I saw it.
Like along 110 or on the
No,
private
it,
property?
on the sidewalk that is right up in the driveway, along the driveway in the US Bank,
On the building, or like along the building?
along the building, on the street.
That's.
It was just one little section that was painted gray.
To match the adjoining
Well, you know,
segments?
all of our sidewalks are supposed to get painted a color. They're supposed to be a color.
Well, they mixed in the tint.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that is a tent. That is it, right?
that's been done. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the reddish tint or whatever, right? Is that-
It looks great to me, but, you know.
So
get
why are the other segments so white? Why are they not matching that? I mean, we do
'Cause
look
they
like a
haven't-
hodgepodge when you look
They,
at our
they
sidewalks.
haven't been colorized yet.
If it's the old ones, then maybe they're white, but if it's,
No, these are the ones that they replaced recently.
I don't know, I have to look.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I do know that they can tint it, obviously. My sidewalk's tinted, so I know. But
Right.
yeah. I mean, it'd be nice if they were a little bit more consistent. It does look kind of sloppy.
Okay, Councilman Herrick, do you have anything?
No, I know if we're going to talk about the finance thing, I'm a little concerned about the fact that we're not going to probably get any funding from the state, so what's our next plan B?
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm sure we'll discuss that once you all have your meeting.
All right, well, that's on my list.
Oh, and I
Of-
did talk to the lady from Three Rivers and Mr. Anderson, and there's recommendations about getting some trees and stuff. I know I asked a couple weeks ago, no, maybe a month ago, excuse me, about the trees along the road there. And there is some guidelines and stuff, obviously, that is Hennepin County.
Yep.
But he's willing to work with us to try to find some trees that would go back and hit that boulevard.
Okay.
And even possibly put it where the new crosswalk is. Maybe provide a little bit of shade right there while people are waiting to cross.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that they'll just give them to us, but at least they'll work with us. They have resources that we can probably buy those trees from at a lesser cost than if we
Okay.
bought them in the open market.
remember that when we were talking about the park?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the park too. And they also, the lady from Three Rivers said that, you know, they could definitely work with us on the signage. And they also have information, plans, and drawings for the bandstand type area that they would be willing to give to us for free, so we wouldn't have to pay an architect to come up with a design.
Nice.
So maybe we can request some of those, just so we can take a look at them.
Cool,
And they'll know costs, so they'll be able to give us an estimate for cost and everything.
right. All right, so on the whole water thing, yeah, I've been talking, well, you all just saw Representative Myers tonight. Yeah, not obviously great news, but, now, unless I missed it, aren't they still doing a special session?
They're doing special session, but they did not come to any agreement on doing a bonding bill.
Right.
There was, the Senate had a proposal. The House did not accept it or
Right.
respond to it. So, as far as I know, bonding is totally not on the agenda. What they're working on now is the budgets for, I think it's 4 different agencies, the biggest of which is Human Services.
Right.
And once they get the budgets done, then the governor will call a special session. But he won't call it until all the budgets are done.
Okay. Last time I talked to him, the session just ended. This is when I talked to him about the water
Yeah.
thing, and he said, well, there's a Hail Mary version that we potentially could get
Yeah.
in a special session. We could still do a bonding bill, but you're saying that it's not looking
Well,
like it's gonna
it's not
happen.
looking real well.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, what we don't hear anyone talking about compromise, you know, or let's do something for the common good. That's not in the conversation on either side. And so, you know, until you get people talking about that, how are you going to get there?
well, I talked to both our senator and our rep
Yeah,
again last week, right around the time that
Yeah.
the session was coming to
well,
an
the
end.
senator's ready for a bond bill. She is. Last I talked to her.
Well, I think they both are, but here's so the problem, then you talk to our senator, she says, well, we want the bigger 1.2 billion or whatever, right? You gotta convince everybody else that we want that. And then I talked to Representative Myers, and, you know, he wants to help us out too. He's like, I'll vote for the bonding bill, you know, if we can get it in there. And then he even said, again, maybe this is talking out of church, but he's like, you know, I'm getting in trouble for my people because want to help out my cities. You know, at the end of the day,
That's his job.
both of them, and I told him, I said, I'm gonna throw both of you under the bus because you're not helping us out. And I said, you know, to Representative Myers, I said, you have 9 cities that you're responsible for, and if I was him, this is what I said, I wouldn't vote for anything unless it had my 9 cities' best interest in it. You're not working for the whole state, you're working for our 9 cities,
Yeah.
right?
Well, he's got to convince his colleagues to come. He's
Yeah.
got to get some of his colleagues to cross over and look out for their cities too. I mean, there are other cities, but, you know,
So again, that's
like I
probably-
said, no one's talking compromise.
Well, and if I was him, I wouldn't be compromising if it's not gonna help our cities at all. I'm
Well,
telling him.
I'm saying compromise in the sense of compromise to get something
to get a
done
bit-
to
yeah.
help our cities.
And then same thing on, you know, when I'm talking to the senator there, the same thing too. I'm like, you know, what does she have, 27 cities or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's, you know,
Well,
it's like,
see, the Senate has something. I mean, they've got a proposal out there, you know,
I don't know. I'm pretty
yeah.
upset with both of them, to be honest. Because both were saying, well, I will say Representative Myers was telling us from the start, it's gonna be a pretty tough chore. But, you know, I don't know. We heard a little bit of excitement from both sides, from both of them. But we knew that it was gonna be a pretty sobering chore if it even worked out. So, anyway, which brings us to the potential plan B. You know, do we want to take this on ourselves, right? Is there anything that we can be doing? Now, again, that's what we're doing with our finance committee to see if we can, you know, can we use some franchise fees to offset, you know, can we do something with the levy? Can we do something with the utility bill without, you know, and then also can we stay on track with our financial plan, right? So, I mean, it's a lot of working parts, and there's gonna be some maybe tough choices or maybe not tough choices. I mean, this is the biggest, you know, I see some of the comments on Facebook and they're like, you know, you do your park, you know, they're like, well, I want a splash pad, and by the way, I want to fix the water. You know, they don't care about the park, they want to fix the water, right? And maybe that's something we do. We would just, well, we do phase 1, we don't do phase 2 or 3, and we just focus all our energy on water. I don't know, but,
That was kind of the point of our workshop coming up, was for Councilmember Harris' question, is like to come to have the finance committee meeting and then come to the workshop with like multiple, you know, good, better, best.
yeah. And again, we've looked at, you know, some stuff in the committee, the finance committee, about, you know, what are some options, you know, with franchise fees, with, again, just so people don't know, you can use franchise fees kind of however you want, right? And you can use the liquor store money however you want, right? But you can't use, like, the levy money
Right.
for our utility bills. So the biggest thing that I'm worried about, and I think Kevin as well, is that the last thing we want to do is have your water bill just be horrendous. At the same point, I think people are like, yes, I'll pay a little bit more to finally fix our problem. You know, we have a water issue, and the state's not looking like they want to help us, although they tell us we can't use our
And no
water.
city's ever got it done for free. You know?
Yeah.
Well, and, you know, Northfield can say no, but, and maybe we can say no too, but, you know, do we all just do our own thing and you're responsible for yourself, or should water be drinkable at the tap,
It's
like
an
every other
essential-
city?
yeah, It's an essential service.
It's an essential service, so, anyway, I think we've, you know, us, Jesse, Noah, Maggie, Ellers, I mean, we've done some pretty hard work behind the scenes of what else can we be doing that keeps us on track, that's still gonna be a hard decision to.
Well, until the rest of us see what the hard
No, I
work
know,
you've done,
and-
you know, it's kind of hard for us to
Right.
respond. We all
Right.
want hard work. We want to resolve this water issue.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the issue. I mean, we're like the new Flint, you know? I hate to say it that way, but that's what
Well-
it's feeling like, you know?
And I will say there's 66 other Flints
Yeah,
in
sure.
Minnesota, so just,
I know, we're not
the only
alone.
one. there's a lot of, and actually, I think more, you're hearing some cities, you know, on the news lately, right, with Northfield or whatever.
Yeah.
At least we got on top of it right away, sent the letter, you know. But it's exhausting after, what, 4 years, you know?
Right, and we've made very little progress.
Well,
You know.
we did get 10 million, we did get another million. Look at our
Well,
streets,
and
they're all
we
ripped
could-
up right now.
We could,
We're
start.
working on it.
We could start working on some more federal money. It's not gonna be the big chunk that we need, but every little bit helps.
Right. And we did submit for the next, was it 4 million that we put for the next year?
We're, well, this year's was originally a $4.1 million ask that got chipped down to 3.1, that became a little over 1, then that went away. We are negotiating a little bit behind the scenes right now as far as what our ask is gonna be. It'll be probably more like 7 or 8.
7 or 8, okay, from the federal side. And we have support with Morrison and
Yeah.
Smith and Klobuchar, so they did get us the 1 million, almost 1 million. So hopefully we can do that. But again, I mean, the main commerce is torn up right now for the pipes.
I know.
Tying them together. So we are making progress, I will say that. And we have gotten some money. I think we're just at it, crossing the road. It's just like, we either got to tell residents, here's the deal, we're going to keep waiting for funding, and just hold your breath until we get, you know, more funding from, you know, the state. Or, no, we're going to tackle this on our own, and this is what it's going to mean for everybody. And this is, you know, our plan B, you know. So, and, you know, in the newsletter, and I know we all talked about this, on the 22nd, July, we've invited everybody to come out and, you know, do an update, and we'll have Bolton and Mink do something, and we'll show our finance numbers and see what we all want to do. We probably won't make a decision that night, but at least we'll have kind of a conversation about it. And then, of course, we're going to have a workshop before we even get to that far, so you guys will kind of see what we're talking about anyway. So. All right, and then thank you for covering me last time, and unfortunately, I'm out next time again. Then I should be here forever. So, for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. So I appreciate you covering me. We almost had a short meeting here, but we're talking about water. Jesse, thank you for coordinating the ribbon cutting. You did a great job. A lot of people showed up. We had the police, we had the fire, we had, you can see up there, our attorney came.
Just making sure you did it right.
Yeah. So
Scissors involved.
Yeah, yeah, you brought the scissors.
Nobody was running, so with scissors, that's good.
I almost stabbed you on
I know.
accident. That's common. Every time I'm by you, I
Right
get
next to
too
me, you're
close.
swinging
Yeah.
around, yeah.
Anyway, so appreciate y'all coming out to do the ribbon cutting, and it was a pretty good picture. We thought, why not? You know, we worked on this thing for multiple years. I said this when I was there, but this is the first thing actually when I said I wanted to run for council. I made a little video, and it was all about the trail crossing. If you ever want to see it, let me know. I'll show it to you. It was a little clip art picture thing, but pretty cool that we got it done through multiple councils, multiple mayors, or two mayors, I guess, 2 attorneys, 2 commissioners. We had the other commissioner, now we have 2. Well, one's still the same, Kevin Anderson. Latanza, yeah. A lot of work went into it with the city, the staff, Public Works, all you guys, so again, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's all I really have too, so. If there's nothing else? No? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Oh, sorry, do you have anything? Number 9?
You know, I thought it might come up, but apparently it didn't, so I'll just do it anyway. But
Yeah.
the county is compelling the flats developers to do some safety features while they do construction. So there's going to be a temporary sidewalk installed along the east side of that road in that neighborhood while they close the west, the current sidewalk that's actually there.
Yeah.
I think they weren't thrilled with the sight lines coming around the corner with the trucks and stuff, so I think signs went out today, so I thought we'd hear about it, but apparently we didn't. So.
I think there are signs up along, right on the church side.
Yeah.
It'd
and
say
those-
no parking.
Yep.
Is
and
that what
that's-
they're?
There's more, and I think there's
Okay.
more that was going up today, but that's county-led thing, they just, I guess it's a safety features that'll be there during construction and then go away when they're built.
Is there anything going on with that, the old, like the building right next to it too?
The Williams
I saw
building?
a lot of stuff coming and going, yeah, from the Williams building.
Nothing that would,
Okay.
nothing
Just
that would
curious.
rise to our level.
Yeah, okay.
They're moving out.
Yeah, well, I heard Mr. Lang bought the 2 houses next to that piece of property.
Yeah, that's what I've heard
What?
too.
Mhm.
Williams store owner bought the two north.
Oh, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. That's horrible news for us. No, seriously.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think he has any intentions of working
Oh,
with that
no,
developer.
no, no. He's just trying to get more money out of us.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
He has
Well-
no intentions of working with that developer.
We're not buying the land, that's not our land,
That's right.
but if he's listening to this, you know, let's work on,
Well, beware, because the one house next to the Williams should probably be torn down too. It's already in
The
bad
south
shape.
side.
Yeah.
Well, I feel
this-
bad I brought it up, but it was
The
just, I
north
thought
side-
maybe
the
it
north
went
side
the other
of
way, because it looked
Nope.
like
the
everything
north
was
side,
getting
that's,
taken
those
out.
are his.
Yeah,
No.
well, one of them is in, the
Well,
one right next to.
Yeah, yeah.
there were
Williams.
also some large barrels of dirt placed on the sidewalk, which I see he's pushed back, but I don't think he's off the sidewalk yet.
Anyway, if you're listening to this, and you wanna do some development, we're open to talking about development, so. And I know, actually, the Flats, I know, have reached out to his attorney, and they're trying to work some deals out, so, hopefully, we'll never know. One last thing, since we have Matt, we're doing a pork chop on Shore, or Commerce, right? Where the other trail class is.
Yeah, the county's putting in another median landing
Yes.
zone, changing the lane configuration there, so instead of 2 drive lanes going each direction, it'll be down to 1.
Yes.
So they're changing that out, so it'll be similar to what we just did ribbon cutting for.
Yeah.
Um,
Now,
Is there a timeline on that at all?
it's after the resurfacing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So I did mention that.
awesome.
I think
Uh,
it's supposed to be before, was the last I was told.
Oh, probably before, and then they'll resurface after,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Yep,
But it should be this summer-ish into the fall, right?
yeah, soon. Yep.
Somewhere the next,
So it's gonna take that down to 1 lane at
Well,
that
I
traffic?
Just like-
think, I
just
think
like
we
on
should
15.
reduce the speed.
no, it'll be a good thing.
The way traffic backs up in the mornings and.
I mean, you gotta think, it's like, it's one
Everybody,
lane,
people are just turning, right?
but it's one lane at 19 and 15, and that's a very busy
They're
area.
only going
Yeah.
2 miles. I mean,
still
2
gonna
miles
be-
and they're out of our town. We don't need all that.
Anyway, it'll be for safety purposes, and like this, I thought people were gonna have a fit about that. It was hard for me to even say, because remember, the Bolton Main came on, they're like, well, you know, you gotta go 2 to 1, and we're like, how can we keep 2?
Yeah,
Right?
they weren't really.
But then I thought, you know what? When I drive from basically Minnetrista all the way out, and you drive all the way to Wayzata, it's basically one
It's one
Yeah.
lane.
with turns.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's basically almost the same thing north and south with turns.
It's a much
So,
quieter intersection.
I don't,
Yeah.
we'll see, but
It'll be
first of all, we don't have a choice.
That, right.
But I will say we've been complaining about it for 4 years
Yeah.
to them.
No, I agree.
And I'm excited, so, I can't wait till it's done. And then the other thing too, and I did just talk to our commissioner, and our, Three Rivers, from what I understand, flashers weren't a part of this yet, right?
What was
I
it?
don't know for sure.
Okay. We
Did
want
see-
flashers
Oh,
there
yeah.
too, because I was driving with my brother-in-law to go pick up a pizza from Domino's, right, for our kids' birthday parties. Seriously. We come from my house, we go down, and then I said, hey, you gotta stop because there's a person right on the bike trail, right? And he goes, you know, he of course slams, you know, okay, so he stops. And I said, see the sign? He goes, no, I can't see it. Nobody sees that sign. You know, that little thing that says you gotta stop for, you know, it's better than nothing. But he's like, dude, someone's gonna get smoked on this. And I said, well, I know. That's why we're working on it. And we're gonna, you know, the county's gonna put it in a pork chop, so. That, again, I think you gotta have flashers, as we just saw with that kid on the scooter. He didn't push the
We
button.
have to encourage them to use it.
You gotta use it, yeah, well, he was over the grass too.
I know.
Because we're all sitting in the way, so, right all over our brand new grass.
But all those witnesses didn't encourage him to use a.
I was
Well,
yelling.
They were running over.
I know.
around it.
He
never was
looked and he
yelling
was
at
like, leave me alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm too cool for flashers. Anyway, But again, that is coming, and is there any way that we can get like a mock-up, what that's gonna look like, and we can send it to council
Yeah,
or something?
I can ask for the high-level view of that again.
Okay.
They did say they're looking to start that mid-June is the last note I had of that, and that's gonna create its own detour, because they're gonna look to close that whole part of the road down for a little bit.
Right. Well, and we're doing some boring too, right, on that whole road? Commerce?
That would be when we do phase 2 of the water main
Yeah.
part of it again, but yeah, that's out, that's a ways out until we get all the funding and the other plant site figured out.
Oh, okay, so that's, we're not worrying about that this summer.
Not likely.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right, once we get all this done though, then they can't touch it for 5
Right.
years. so.
That's what we're doing next.
All right. Okay, sorry, is that it then? All right, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Can I get a
Second.
second? All right, any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed? All right, we're adjourned.